Crossfire on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
All right, welcome. It's Morning Crossfire right here at 99.3 Nigeria Info. End bad governance in Nigeria. Is it end bad government in Nigeria? Is it end hunger in Nigeria? Is it end hardship protests? What is it about? We want to know. We have one of the leaders, or maybe he'll tell us if he is the leader of the planned protest, because we've counted at least 26 groups who are all talking about this end bad governance protest. We'd like to know which groups are the authentic groups, because I know some people are selling T-shirts and all that. But anyway, you're welcome. It's the Morning Crossfire. My name is Kofi Bartels. Joining us is politician, journalist, and activist Omoyele Sowore. He joined us virtually right here on the Morning Crossfire to talk about end bad governance protests. I'll introduce him and put him on the air pretty shortly. But we have some questions for you. Now, a group of Nigerians aim to end bad government in the country by organizing what they call Days of Rage. Essentially, these are protests calling for a change or revolution in the way the country is governed. Are they about to light fire to that keg of gunpowder that we've all been afraid of? That keg of gunpowder on which Nigeria has been sitting on for God knows how many decades now. Now, you who are listening, what changes do you think are necessary to address the governance issues in the country? What changes do you think are necessary to address the hardship issues in the country? What changes do you think are necessary to end hunger in Nigeria or to reduce it to the barest minimum? And how can Nigerians effectively demand these changes from their leaders? That's the question we're asking those listening this morning. Also, do you think that protests are an effective way to bring about change in the country? Are there other methods that citizens can use to demand accountability from their leaders? Please share your thoughts with us by calling 0201-277-0993, 0201-277-0993. We have 0201-465-7190. That's our female line, 0201-465-7190. And of course, WhatsApp number just for your messages this time. No phone calls or voice notes for now. 08095 975805, 08095 That's the number to call. To send your WhatsApp messages to. We're on Facebook at Nigeria Info FM. Search on Nigeria Space Info Space 99.3 on X at Nigeria Info FM. We're streaming live on Facebook, streaming live on YouTube. It's a verified account on YouTube. Search on Nigeria Info FM. You can drop your comments on X as well. Okay, now despite attempts to silence them, the organizers of the planned nationwide protest called End Bad Governance Protest have revealed their plans and vow to proceed with the demonstration. As we said earlier, at least 26 groups, including Concerned Nigerians, Nigerians Against Hunger, Initiative for Change, Take It Back Movement, Revolution Now, Human Rights Co-Advocacy Group, and others have joined forces to embark on this process. Let's not waste time. We don't have too much time. I'll go straight to say good morning to Mr. Sowore, Omoyele Sowore, presidential candidate of African Action Congress. I think the last two elections, 2019 and 2023. And he, of course, you're leader of the Take It Back movement. He's an activist, he's a journalist, a politician. Good morning to you, comrade.
Good morning. Morning to Nigerians, and good morning to you and your listeners.
All right. All right. Good to have you. Thanks for your time. Let's start by trying to find out how many groups are involved in organizing the End Bad Government or End Bad Governance protest. Some accounts have it that the 26 groups are the last count. How many are you?
I have no clue how many people are organizing this. I can only speak for our own group because we have been championing this since 2019 when we started the Revolution Now protest, August 5, 2019. And we have done every year, reminded Nigerians that we are due for a revolution, and never have we stopped organizing. In fact, our group, Take It Back, a Revolution Now, still organized on June 12, a protest nationwide to complain about hunger and starvation and poverty. So, a lot of groups. But what is most important is not the number of groups who are just linked to be counted or to be credited with organizing this. Is that almost all Nigerians are sick and tired of the way they are governed. They're sick and tired of those governing them. They're sick and tired of the policies that have impoverished them, that have gagged them, that have made them become useless in their own nation. And all these people are involved and are partaking in this struggle. Well, it's also important to philosophically tell you that the real organizers are hunger, poverty, corruption, insecurity, lack of opportunities for our young people, and all those things you can count. And those were counted over 1,000 organizers in that realm. But the people who are instigating and inciting this are those people in government. And you have held them with their policies. You've heard them speak openly about this. Some of them they've done with their body languages. In fact, what is worse is that while this was happening, they kept doubling down on their very stubborn resolve to ensure that Nigerians starve to death.
We'll come to that because you're accusing the politicians of wanting Nigerians to starve to death. We'll come to that. But in order to be sure, some have accused the organizers of protests of going after Nigerians' money. For instance, there's a group called, I think it's Active Citizens, where I've seen a lady, selling. She's been accused of selling T-shirts already without the protest even starting for 6,000 naira. And I've seen some of the opponents of the protest saying, if you're hungry, how can you afford a T-shirt of 6,000 naira? So they're saying, this is about money. What do you say to that?
Well, I don't know why people derail from real issues and are heading in the direction of hubris. When people organize protests everywhere in the world, they sell merchandise. Political parties sell merchandise. I'm not in any way affiliated. I don't know who these persons are. But if anybody is selling merchandise during a protest, I think they're taking advantage of the protest. It might also be their own way of raising funds, because most of the people who are protesting this time around, who are organizing this revolt, are not paid. They are not given grants. They might want to organize and raise funds that they will use in fighting their own battles. A lot of people are making contributions of their own. Look at what they did to take it back. The United Bank for Africa froze the account of the organization so that we sure that you don't get to have enough resources to fight for your rights. So this is irrelevant. Like I said, how are you worried about selling T-shirts when there's no crime? No crime, what I mean, there selling T-shirts during the protests.
All right.
If you go to any political gathering in Nigeria or even government gatherings, the conventions of political parties, people sell T-shirts. So what's the big deal about selling T-shirts? They're not robbing banks.
All right.
They're producing and selling merchandise.
All right. I was going to ask you about the account freezing down the road, but since you raised it, let's just find out, has the account been unfrozen, and is it in any way connected to the protest, in your opinion?
Yes, they have not unfrozen the account. They reached out to us after we raised hell over it as UBA, and they claimed, according to them, that the account was not set up for what is being used for. That they found, whomever found out, I don't know, that they found somewhere we're using the account to raise money for the protest. And when they checked our records, they couldn't find how we regularize the account. It's the same strategy the phone companies are using in Nigeria now to bar people's lines. Oh, we don't know that you have linked your name, but a lot of the people whose lines have been barred now have linked their name months ago. And and we provided to them all that they requested for through our lawyer, Inibe Herfion. And we've given them 24 hours, which expires today. If they don't, we'll take it to the next level.
All right, interesting. One of the biggest stories in today's national dailies is the IGP doubling down on his request or demand that the organizers and the sponsors, or the leaders, rather, make their details, their name and details available to the police. Have you been contacted by the IGP's office or the police? What are your thoughts on that? Have you made your details available?
We responded to the IGP that he's the one who should make available the names of police officers who are going to be deployed, all of them, and they should provide their details, their ranks, and let us know who may be armed or unarmed, amongst them, because this is completely a civil affair. There's no reason to collect the names of organizers. If you want to collect the names of the organizers of these protests, you will need the capacity to collect over 200 million names. So we've replied him, and our lawyers are going to communicate this to him this morning in Nigeria. That's diversionary. That's not the issue. The issue is that as the chief police chief, the most top police chief in Nigeria, his duty is simple: go to work. Go to work. Asking people to provide ID cards or provide evidence that they are entitled, or they're entitled to protest, is not part of his job, and we're not going to waste our time on that, because this is going ahead in a few hours. The countdown is 3 days to the time.
All right. But the police IG, through the spokesperson to the force, Muyiwa Dejobi, says this is standard procedure. It's standard procedure everywhere in the world that police will want to know who the leaders of the protests are, who the organizers of what their aims are, the routes they want to pass through, and all that. Isn't that standard procedure in order for proper communication, he says?
It is not standard procedure. It is when you are asking to use public facilities that you are required to provide your contact. And that was what the TIB in Abuja did by writing the Minister of TFCT, Naisha Wiki, that they want to use the Eagle Square. Those ones have contacts. So if the IG is interested in that contact, he should contact the minister. But the contact is public information already. But what he's requesting for is bizarre. It's burdensome request that's just diversionary in our view. And we've responded that nobody's submitting any list to you. Nobody is going to give you contact as to why they are protesting, why they are exercising.
But have you written to the Nigeria Police Force? Has taken back written to Nigeria Police Force to say this is
yes. Sam Bwala has written on behalf of Take It Back to the IG and to the DSS, asking them to provide support and coverage for the protest. Inibe Hefyong also wrote. A lot of people have written individually as groups. I've seen the letters written to Commissioner of Police in at least 20 states across Nigeria. That means that Nigerians understand what needs to be done. They don't need to be taught any more lessons on how to organize themselves.
Did you provide the routes? Did you provide names, contacts? In case police needs to reach anybody to find out some more.
Anybody that's
routes
written to the police commissioner in the state has provided their contact. When it comes to routes, we are not in a geography class here. People are engaging in protests.
But you have to give the police maybe where they can come and provide the protection for you. They have to come somewhere. They can't
That's why they should come. That's why they should contact those who wrote letters to them directly to say, in the case of Abuja, the venue has been provided as the Eagle Square. Are you telling me that the IG of police doesn't know where the Eagle Square is located?
But what about the routes? Okay, we're going to pass through Maitama. We'll go through
people are going
Road 1.
People are going to come from everywhere. That will be determined by situational variables. Because some people are going to come from different parts of Abuja. We don't even know who is coming. We don't have a registered list of Nigerians who want to protest. We only know that a lot of Nigerians are in on this and they are ready. And let the police do their job. Nothing more, nothing less.
Let's move over to the FCT. You're aware of what the Minister of the FCT has said. You watched the video, we've all seen it. He has said that he hasn't received any letter from Take It Back or from you, but we didn't mention it, I don't think he did, requesting the use of Eagle Square. Can you clarify this? Have you written to the FCT Minister? Did he acknowledge the receipt of the letter?
If he has not received the letter, how did he know that a letter was written to him?
He was probably be asked, at that town hall.
No. He said it in the video that he has sent the letter and that he's just waiting for it to be submitted to him. And we think that it's been submitted to him, but because of their own internal bureaucracy and inefficiencies, he has not received it. But let me educate him here. In one breath, he said, there's not going to be protest in Abuja. In another breath, he said, I've not received a letter for protest. Which one should we believe? I think he's just playing with semantics. Wike is a lawyer. He knows that you can be served information in more than one way. And this way, he could have accepted it by publication because the letter is all over the place.
No, but he said you don't write to the FCT minister through social media.
No, it's not true. He cannot dictate to us how we write to him because he's our servant. He's supposed to serve the Nigerian people. But in this case, I have also been assured that he'll get the letter first thing this morning in Abuja. You saw yesterday Tinubu's daughter at the Eagle Square, and I can guarantee you that she didn't write any letter to use the Eagle Square. They just went there, gave her the keys, she opened the place, and she used it. The Eagle Square is Nigeria's people's property. Wike is not the landlord. He should get that right.
But there are ways. Some would say there are ways.
Custodian.
He said
it's a custodian.
Yeah.
It's a custodian of access, and we have gone through the process for letting him understand that this is what needs to be done. The reason we wrote to him was because there are some alterations that the organizers are asking should be done to the Eagle Square, like removing the iron mesh that separates the Eagle Square from the Aso Rock Villa to avoid the stampede or injuries.
Oh wow!
And
really?
So yes, because yes.
Okay.
So that is part of the reason why he was given enough notice. That mesh that is between the Eagle Square and the Presidential Villa should be removed because the protesters would like to visit the Aso Rock Villa in large numbers.
That's interesting. But he was asking. He said that there are ways of going about this thing. For instance, I was asking, have you paid? Has a receipt been given to you for the use of that? So has Take It Back paid for the use of that venue? Has a receipt been given to you?
We are not engaging in a musical concert. We are not asking to pay rent. We are asking that as a custodian of the venue, the Nigerian people want to use one of their assets and facilities to facilitate and organize, the protests to deal with urgent social political issues affecting the Nigerian people. That's all I was asked for. So if he refuses to approve of it because you cannot pay for it, then he doesn't understand what this is all about. So you cannot improvise people.
Yeah, you want to use the Eagle Square without paying for it?
No, nobody's paying for it. We're talking about unemployed youths here. We're talking about poverty. People want to. We just want to use the place for convergence, okay? Because this is supposed to last for 10 days at first, all right? And we don't know subsequently might be. That's why he's giving advanced information. We want him to turn on the electricity for 24 hours. Make sure water is.
But I think what he's saying is not free. You have to pay. He's saying you have to pay.
Nobody is going to pay to use his father's living room to watch TV or to organize. So we own the Eagle Square. We're not going to pay, and we're talking about young people who have no money to pay you. Like I said, this is not a musical concert. We're not having a wedding there. It's just we're having a festival of the oppressed at the place.
What happens when you turn up there and there's another event that is going on there? Maybe they paid for it and he approved it and all, but what will you do?
Well, how about we wait until that happens? But I don't imagine that there will be any event starting from August 1st, 2024 in Abuja at the Eagle Square. If there was going to be anyone, Wike would have told you. But we know there's none that's happening there. But if the place is not available, maybe people just move directly to the villa. And, who knows?
All right. Omoyele Sowore is with us, our guest this morning, as we talk about End Bad Governance protest. I think we can refer to you as the organizer of the protest. You're shaking your head.
I'm not interested in that.
All right.
We just want to make this happen. That's the interest. But if I just want also to clear.
Okay, please.
From those in government, the idea that this is a faceless.
All right.
That the group that are organizing this are faceless. We're not faceless.
All right.
Yes.
All right. Hold the thought. When we come back from our next set of commercials, we'll throw the lines open for our listeners to ask you questions. So here on the Morning Crossfire.
99.3 Nigeria Info. We'll be right back.
Yes.
You're cooking again?
My sister, you know I like to keep my family happy.
So you use Tasty Tom?
Of course.
This stew is so red and thick.
Tasty Tom tomato mix enriches my meals with an appealing and appetizing red color.
So Tasty Tom is this red and thick?
Yes, so.
It's also tasty.
Can we have more, please?
I am going to get my own Tasty Tom tomato mix. My family deserves to be happy too.
Yes, sir. With Tasty Tom tomato mix, you can give your family more of meals that make them happy. It's thick, tasty, and enriches your meals with an appealing red color. It's enriched with vitamins and fiber that are good for the body. Tasty Tom for tasty meals.
Well man and well woman. Are you tired and run down? Well man and well woman from Vitabiotics UK provide your one-a-day tablets with all the benefits for healthy living.
Wellman has been specially developed for men to maintain general health and vitality.
Well Woman is a blend of minerals and vitamins at optimal levels, specifically designed for busy modern women.
Make a healthy change today with Wellman and Well Woman. Available in all good pharmacies nationwide.
Health and vitality. Don't wait. The all-new My DSTV app is here to give you a better experience and more control. It's your go-to place for easy self-service, special offers, live chat, voting on some of your favorite shows, and more. Download it now. Update your contact details before 28th July and bring on amazing. Do it today. Do it now. Download the enhanced My DSTV app to unlock even more. For inquiries, live chat with us on the app or on dstv.com.
Tell me which kind thing we find if you wash away. Tomato paste or coffee stain your body. Viva go wash away. Chicken in for your clothes now. All you need for Viva to wash away. Gentle for your pocket, gentle for your hand. Oh my Viva, it wouldn't make you shine. Oh Viva, Viva. Oh no no. I love my Viva, oh Viva. Oh no no. Uncle say bye bye to very tough stage, yo. Oh no no. Mama say bye bye to any kind stage, yo. Oh no no. Oh Viva, Viva. Oh no no.
Is it okay to make fun of our tooth gap? Let's have a talk. Colgate makes your teeth so strong. Cover your mouth. Not to do younger with your smile. Brush your teeth with Colgate. Zero cavities and fresh breath. If you use a Colgate paste. Not to do younger with your smile. Brush your teeth with Colgate.
Colgate, #1 oral care brand in the world.
Hey there! Yes, you! You just won 5,000 Naira cash! And you, sitting by the side, there's 1 month Showmax subscription to watch the Premier League waiting for you! You behind! Of course! You're not left out! How does 1,000 Naira airtime and 2,000 Naira Uber discount sound? All this could come true when you buy the No Unwrap and Win pack. Open it, look for a cube with a 6-digit code on its wrapper, text the code to 8011 and follow the prompts to stand a chance to win any of these instant prizes. Promo valid from July till December. Terms and conditions apply. Get extra value on the No Unwrap and Win pack. No, eat for good.
Trader, are you ready for the flight? Yeah. Maximize your gains day or night. The platform, HFM is the name. Trading with us is a brand new game. Come on, feel alone, execution slow. Switch to HFM, watch your success grow. Higher leverage, tighter spreads and swap free. Got your back in this financial fight. Trade forex, commodities, indices, shares and more. Just come and see HFM online trading. Withdrawals, deposit done in a dash. Our execution too fast. HFM stands apart from the rest. HFM stands apart from the rest.
Pico, HFM finito, HFM is it. HFM na short platform, online trading, forex trading. Any trading, HFM no delay.
Join HFM today. Visit www.hfm.com or download the HFM app on Google Play or App Store. HFM, online trading at its finest.
Mommy, my teacher said 90% of my brain will develop by the time I am 5.
Really? What else did she say?
She said I need iron in my food for my brain to grow well.
Oh, very true. And that's why I give you Cerelac Junior every day, which provides half of your daily iron needs.
And Cerelac Junior tastes so good.
Cerelac Junior with Iron Plus. It's all good, Mom.
Guess who's coming back exclusively on Showmax? The Buzz. Coming back to give you all the inside scoop, spicy banter, and bigger secrets from Big Brother's house. Get ready for juicy behind-the-scenes videos that Biggie won't show you, but The Buzz would.
Join Toke Makinwa on BB Naija The Buzz, premiering on August 1st with a new episode showing every Thursday, streaming only on Showmax. You can also stream BB Naija 24/7 on the Showmax app. Subscribe now. Sign up now at showmax.com.
Mommy Ayo.
Yes?
You're cooking again?
My sister, you know I like to keep my family happy.
So you use Tasty Tom?
Of course.
This stew is so red and thick.
Tasty Tom tomato mix enriches my meals with an appealing and appetizing red color.
So Tasty Tom is this red and thick?
Yes, oh.
It's also tasty.
Can we have more, please?
I am going to get my own Tasty Tom tomato mix. My family deserves to be happy too.
Yes, sir. With Tasty Tom tomato mix, you can give your family more of meals that make them happy. It's thick, tasty, and enriches your meals with an appealing red color. It's enriched with vitamins and fiber that are good for the body. Tasty Tom for tasty meals.
You are listening to your number one station for talk.
Your number one station for talk.
99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.
Live from the heart of Victoria Island, you're listening to your number one station, 99.3 Nigeria Info. This is Morning Crossfire.
And many other problems confronting us. But don't pity me. I asked for the job. I campaign for it. No excuses. I will live up to the bill. I promise you. Thank you very much.
When you look at the indices, certain indices, and I tell you this, but when you judge the government based on ability of this particular administration to solve a 100-year-old problem in 1 year, then you might be having your sort of assertion. Let me tell you this, Nigeria, Mr. President, to the best of my knowledge, never campaigned to be a magician. Let me tell you this, Nigeria.
I can expect so that.
Okay, I was trying to get that audio out where the former minister, the current minister of Interior, Olubunmi Tunji just said Mr. President did not campaign to be a magician, or didn't promise to be a magician. But earlier you had a clip of the president saying that Nigerians should not pity him. He campaigned for the job and he will do it. He's up to the task. But on Channel TV a couple of days ago, if not yesterday, I was in Sunday Politics with Sheryl Kibaloye, the Minister of Interior says Mr. President did not campaign to be a magician. Anyway, welcome back. We still have with us Omoyele Sowore for the next 20 minutes or so. We'd like to take your calls and your thoughts on some of the questions I've asked him, some of the things he said, and the issues surrounding the end hunger, end bad governance, or end bad government in Nigeria protest. Is it end bad governance or end bad governance? Is it end hunger? What is the protest called? I've seen about 3 hashtags. Mr. Sowore.
The umbrella for all the calls in Nigeria is end bad governance.
Okay.
Now you know that end bad governance started as an umbrella battle cry since 2020 during the NSAS. So, but ours has been around beyond that. That's Days of Rage. Days of Rage was how, and Revolutionary was how we organized 2019 August revolt in Nigeria that led to my arrest. So all of this is to accommodate everybody. If you are ending hunger, bad governance is the cause of hunger. If you are ending unemployment, bad governance is the cause of unemployment. If you are ending school fees for schools that don't deliver, services, bad governance is the reason. Bad governance is the reason you have bad roads. Bad governance is the reason, as we speak, that you don't have some of your telco lines working. Is the reason why, as we speak, most cities and states, most cities and towns don't have gasoline, which is known as petrol. Is the reason you don't have electricity. It's bad governance. So, whichever way you want to describe it, you want to hashtag it, the most important thing is that everybody is tired and they're saying enough is enough. So you can add whatever hashtag you want to this, but I think it is just apt to say that we want to end bad governance in the country.
How do you respond to allegations, or should I say suspicion, that, or let me say concerns, that the protests will turn violent? I mean, you don't want to pay, you're saying you're not going to pay for the use of Eagle Square. You're saying that you may march into Aso Rock. You are saying Days of Rage. There's some concern that the protests may turn violent and destabilize the country. What are your thoughts, or what's your reaction to that?
So this is part of what I'd hate to talk about on media platforms. This constant accusation or allegation that somehow protests that are planned and have had history of peaceful and well-organized behaviors are going to turn violent. But this is the blackmail that's existing since I was born. Since when I was in the university, it's saying, oh, if you protest, it's going to turn violent. And every time there's a protest, it is never the protesters who turn violent, it's the government who turn it into violence so that they can use it to suppress people. And they have done it so well that cognitively, a lot of people don't even understand that they're being programmed to believe that something that is legit is going to become illegitimate. So this is their own way of delegitimizing a well-organized idea to bring them to listen to the people. As I mentioned yesterday, protest is also a form of dialogue, except that peaceful protest, as we are going to have it, and whether they like it or not, or a revolt of this nature, is the dialogue with people who are tone deaf. The NSAS protest, which was one of the biggest in Nigeria's history, was not violent until the Nigerian government introduced violence. First, by shuffling around thugs around the country. We saw them in SUVs in Abuja. They brought them in Lagos with Lagos-colored public transportation buses. You saw people with machetes. As we speak, they are deploying cultists across the country. They are deploying police. They are deploying soldiers so that they can introduce violence. They can perpetrate violence against all these young people who just want their voices to be heard and heard loud and clear. But we've gone beyond that now. This is going ahead, and nobody is worried about the subtle blackmail about, oh, this is going to be violent.
But when we hear the word rage, one may say that connotes violence. Rage. Rage isn't a good word, is it?
The rage is emotional response to oppression. When people say, I'm enraged by the way I'm being governed, what is wrong with that? And at any rate, if you're not enraged, why are you protesting in the first place? So we're not saying, if we're to be that, we're saying we're going to war, then maybe you can start ascribing interpretation to it. But rage is completely legit. I'm enraged. I'm enraged at the way my country's been governed. And the days of rage, as you saw, it was used recently in Kenya. In fact, the Kenyans borrowed that hashtag from our 2019 Revolution Now protest. So, what else do you want me to tell you? There's nothing wrong with being enraged with malfeasance.
All right. How exactly?
Nothing wrong.
How exactly does Take It Back movement and affiliated organizations? How do you intend to end bad government? Because the only known and acceptable way to end government, any government in Nigeria, is every 4 years through the ballot box. The other ways are through regime change, either through the muzzle of a gun or through unseating, violently unseating a government, toppling of a government. So, how exactly do you intend to end bad government? Some may ask.
If
want to topple the government,
if what you're saying were to be true, then I don't think the government themselves will be saying that, oh, this is legit. They have said that this is legit.
No, but you're saying you want to end the government. How do you intend to end bad government?
It's to end bad governance.
Okay.
How's that difficult to understand? That people want to end people engaging in corruption, people who are incapacitated, who are running the country, people who are engaging in malfeasance. How's that a problem? If you then say that, well, it means that people who are operating these bad things are going to run, what is wrong with that?
So what's the end game? I mean, how will you end? At what point will you get to?
The end game is to end a regime of corruption that has perpetrated crimes against Nigerian people, have introduced poverty, unemployment, insecurity, the people that made it impossible for you to have a salary that can take you home after you work for 30 days. And they themselves are buying presidential jets at $100 million that's going to be delivered in weeks from now. The people who are earning 25 million naira per month without doing anything at the National Assembly, who have just gone now on 7 weeks break. The people who embezzle monies that they collect for contracts, who don't implement them. The people who have made the doctors to leave the entire country to go and work in other countries.
The people what I'd like to know, Mr. Shore, is how do you intend how do you intend
citizens or second-class citizens in your own country?
How do you intend to end this bad government? Is it about going to
the people are going to march on bad governance starting from August 1st. Is that too difficult to understand? We are marching on our problems.
How will it be ended?
Nationwide.
Yeah, but the aim is to end bad governance. So how will it be ended? At what point will it get to say, okay, yes, we've ended bad governance?
When the people win against bad governance. Simple. It's as simple as that. When we get to a point where the people who are operating this either convince themselves that they are going to give up on their bad habits and turn Nigeria around, or the Nigerian people will turn them around, or they give up on doing what is terrible against Nigerian people, what is unacceptable. This is globally recognized way of expressing rage against oppression and incompetence and wickedness.
I'm sure you're aware. You're asking certain persons to give what they can't give. They've not shown the capacity. They don't have the capacity to give it. These guys cannot give what you're asking. They can't give good governance. If they can, they would have. So,
I think finally you and I have come to the junction where we agree that they have nothing to offer. And if they have nothing to offer, what is wrong? What is wrong in giving way?
Okay, so you want them to give way.
Why should they continue to stand in the way of progress when you and I have agreed that they have nothing to offer? So, should we continue to live under the banner, under the oppression, under conditions in which you agree as a public commentator that the people we are fighting against have nothing to offer? If your father told you that, Kofi, I cannot offer you education, won't you go and find another father?
Well,
if that is your desire.
I didn't say they have nothing to offer, but I'm saying if you're saying they are giving bad governance, he who gives bad governance, I don't think has the capacity to give good governance. So I'm going by what you said. But you
I understand. Maybe you are walking away from what you're saying.
No. But this is my question.
You have made it very clear that they have nothing to. They can't give what they don't have.
But
that's always been our position. But we are not under any obligation to live under the leadership or rulership of people who have nothing to offer, who have nothing to give. No country in the world accepts that. There's no population in the world that accepts that. No people in the world, not even ants, accept to have leaders who have nothing to give them.
So you want the government, those in government, to step down?
I don't know. It's up to the Nigerian people to determine that. That's why we're saying the process starts now. That if they come to the conclusion that they have nothing to give, there are less than 10,000 of them who are in office today. They can give way. We can all agree by 12 noon on August 12th that they have nothing to give, and they also surrender to the people. The people have reserved the right to elect their representatives. They reserve the right to fire them, and they are not under any obligation to fire them in 4 years. They don't have to wait for election cycles. Otherwise, nobody will be left in 4 years to even vote.
Does this movement and this position not have the capacity, potential to plunge Nigeria into instability?
Nigeria has already been plunged into instability by the people we have been discussing about since I came on your show. Nigeria is the most unstable economic space. Nigeria is one of the most insecure countries in the world. Nigeria is one of the places where a child is likely to die before they are born, or their mother and child will die during birth, or the child will die before they are born. Nigeria is the only place, one of the countries in the world apart from Haiti, where there are 10 million of their children out of school. Nigeria is the only place where you get a job, but you are paid peanuts, such that your salary cannot sustain you. Nigeria is the only place, mostly in the world today, where you register to go to school for 4 years and you spend 6 years just going to school because every year lecturers are striking and the government says, who cares? So all of the indices that make life great or at least stable for people in the world, Nigeria is running in deficit on those indices. So what are we talking about? Why is anybody even pampering this? Why are we even getting semantic about this? There's nothing emotional about being oppressed, being suppressed, and being denigrated in Nigeria, and people saying, oh, how do you want to end it? There's nobody who is under this kind of yoke of oppression that doesn't want it to end.
Okay.
And they deserve to be given a right to allow it to end. Like I said somewhere else, we are trying to save ourselves and also save those who are in government.
Okay, we want to put a
themselves.
Okay,
Yes.
we want to put our listeners on the line. Sorry, I must apologize to this lady who's been waiting for some time. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Kofi.
All right,
Good morning,
sincere
Mr.
apologies.
Sowore.
Yeah, welcome.
I'm Mrs. Oboli calling from Ikorodu.
Welcome.
So just so you know, Mr. Sowore, I want to say I'm more than 100% up for this looming protest. You've highlighted a lot of things, but I also want to state here and now that the odds are against the Nigerian. You said the government is tone deaf, and beyond reasonable doubt, it is evident that they don't really care about us. Hence the looming protest, because a proactive government would start showing workings even before the day of the protest comes. In line with this, I am looking at what happens when this protest starts. Because yesterday, I was out and I heard at the bus stop, some women, like the market women, they were like the traditional rulers and a couple of other people I don't want to mention on air, said they would go into Igbale. You know what I mean? You're a Yoruba man. Because of this protest. It's Mr. Kofi, it simply means the shrine. So the government is against us, traditional rulers against us, Nigerians, even the policemen and everybody.
All right.
So they are planning something deadly and dangerous. How would he and others that are propagating this protest, because I'm also a Nigerian and I would come out strongly, how would you make sure infiltration does not come? How can traditional rulers say they will go into their shrine
All right,
for
thank
protesters?
you. Thank you very much.
Please.
Thank you. Okay, Omoyele Sowore, your response to that.
Well, on the day of liberation, all shrines shall fall apart any shrine where they be cooking injustice against our people, cooking suppression against them, every shrine on whose shoulders, on whose neck oppression has been rotating in Nigeria, they will fall apart. And it's not a threat of bloodshed. It is the desire of everybody who is under the yoke of oppression as I'm speaking with you now, and I'm not sounding in any way emotional. I'm direct in saying to them, if you're a traditional ruler and you're in the shrine trying to suppress people who want to gain freedom, who are asking for the simple and most basic things in life, your shrine will fall apart from August 1.
All right. Is that not part of the violence that some
it's not violence?
Because
what I mean
if you
is
say
that
your shrine will fall apart.
Wait.
Sorry, sir. Can I ask my question?
What I mean is, literally,
okay, go on.
Literally, all these shrines will become irrelevant. I fought against military rule. You understand? The barracks were the most important places that people feared during military rule. We were afraid of soldiers, but one day we stared them in the face. And today, even though they are still struggling to sometimes oppress you on the street, the soldiers were sent back to their barracks. And the ones that didn't want to go were retired. That's what I mean. They had people like Babangida did not even have a chance to pick his clothes from Aso Rock. He said, I'm standing aside or stepping aside. He never stepped back. That is what I mean by all these shrines, all these traditional rulers who are engaging in these acts of oppression, or people who are trying to scare our people not to fight for freedom and liberation. There will always be people like this. But what I want to encourage our sister who called in is that the solution is simple. Let there be put on ground in millions. Like I said, we could take this to last long, but we could make it short. And what I mean short is that if there are enough people on the streets on August 1st, by 12 noon, we could resolve this problem. All of you will be happy that I told you so.
Okay, hold the thought.
So there's nothing to be apologetic about.
I'll come back to that.
If people are what she's telling you is what these guys are doing to oppress and suppress people. They are the ones who have introduced violence into this.
Hold the thought. I want to come to Emeka, who is in Satellite Town very quickly. Emeka, over to you.
Yes.
Kofi Bartels, I greet you.
Welcome.
Morning. Mr. Sowore, bravo to you. You're always a leader, leading from the front. Activism is legendary. Having said that, I think, Mr. President, this is the time to show that you are a Democrat. This is the time to show that what you fought for, or you claim to have fought for, that you actually believe in it. I am of the opinion that most of his aides are not even telling him the truth, or he doesn't even understand the reality on ground. So this is the time to allow your children to vent as the father of the nation. Allow people to vent, albeit peacefully, so that you hear them out and understand what they're going through, because there's so much hunger, there's so much suffering in the land, as Mr. Sowore has been enumerating.
Thank you very much.
And I also want to point out here that it is not all about the center alone. Even the governors in the states they are all culpable in what is happening.
Thank you. Emeka, we're out of time. I want to thank you.
Location, they have to give account
Emeka,
for
thank
it.
you very much.
This protest is a must.
All right, thank you very much. Sowore, before we go, are you not embarking on another treasonable act? I'm asking you the question based on the fact that you're basically calling for government to be toppled. I mean, looking at all you've said, or they can step aside. Are you not concerned? Looking at the history of charges of treason against you, in 1 minute, please.
When I was arrested in 2019 and charged for treason, before I was arrested, I told them that the idea of a revolution in Nigeria, its time has come and nobody can stop it. And when they charged me, I told the judge, I said, you are wasting your time. I don't know why you're sitting here giving all this bail condition, because this trial is not going anywhere. 5 years later, they woke up one day and went and withdrew their charges because they couldn't prove it. And if it is treasonable to ask for freedom, Kofi, I'll go for it again.
All right,
I'm
thank you.
not afraid to go back in.
Thank you, Omoyele Sowore. Thank you so much for your time. We'll get back to you in the coming hours, days ahead of the protest, and do stay safe.
Thank you.
All right.
You are listening to your number one station for talk.
99.3 Nigeria Info.
99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.
Yes?
You're cooking again?
My sister, you know I like to keep my family happy.
99.3 Nigeria Info. We are more than just radio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Nigeria Info FM. Check us out on Facebook at Nigeria Info 99.3. Follow us on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM and on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Lagos for live updates as it happens. 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.